The silence was heavy aboard the Dominion-class flagship Gravamind. Captain Elra Thorne stood at the center of the bridge, watching a single silver blur crawl across the tactical display. It was moving straight through Sector 4 Gamma Varnic, space without clearance, without ID, and without even responding to orbital scans. "Unregistered again?" she asked, her voice barely above a whisper. Lieutenant Kale nodded grimly. "No IFF, and the spectral readings are conflicting." "Elra, lean closer. Define conflicting." "The hull reads like harvested bone," Kale muttered. "But the energy field, it's something else, like folded dimensions layered inside each other." "That wasn't possible." Elra narrowed her eyes. "Get me visuals." The display zoomed in. The craft was grotesque, if you could call it a craft. It looked like it had been grown rather than built, its outer shell twisted unnaturally, like vertebrae strung together with sinew and wire. A shimmering field pulsed at its core, neither mechanical nor biological, but something in between. "Scan it again," she ordered. "Already tried." The scans bounced back as if we're trying to look at it through time itself. The bridge crew exchanged glances. This wasn't Varnic tech. It wasn't any known race. It was something else. Then the voice came, not through the comms, but in their heads. "Do not pursue. This is your only warning." Elra staggered. Everyone heard that? Murmurs of confirmation rippled through the crew. "That language," Kale whispered. "It's precursor. Dead language, no one speaks it." "But we understood it," Elra said. "Yes, Captain, which means it didn't speak at all. It thought." Her pulse quickened. "I want interceptors on it. Find out what it wants. Disable if necessary." The interceptors launched, engines roaring through the vacuum. The alien craft didn't flinch, just pulsed. And then it retaliated. Not with missiles, not with lasers. The interceptors were simply gone. No explosion, no debris. Just a faint ripple in space, and then nothing. The hollow chamber of the dreadnought's bridge pulsed red. Alarms blinked, silent, as if even the ship feared making noise. Captain Ryle stood with fists clenched, watching the unknown ship lower itself like a predator ready to consume. Her second in command, Derek's, hovered near the tactical console, uncertain. The docking clamps latched with a deep, resonant thunk. 3 Terrans stepped through the airlock, not in battle armor, not with weapons drawn. They wore matte black exosuits, seamless, functional, intimidating by simplicity alone. The one in front was tall, broad-shouldered, eyes like twin voids of fury barely restrained. Behind him, a silver-tattooed woman moved with the precision of a dancer, and a third, thinner man carried a sleek, humming case that vibrated with unsettling regularity. "You are Captain Ryle," the lead Terran said flatly. She gave a curt nod. "You're trespassing on Dominion space. Your earlier actions." The Terran raised a hand. "Not threatening, just final. You don't get to accuse us, not after the burning of Sol." Ryle's face twitched. "That was generations ago. Humanity refused peace. We refused conquest." The tattooed woman snapped. "You chose extinction." Ryle barked. "We chose freedom." The lead Terran replied coldly. "And we survived it." The third human opened the case. Inside, a floating core, red-lit, pulsing like a living thing. "Do you know what this is?" he asked. "A bomb?" "A witness," the Terran said. "One of our last AI seeds. It's watched your every move, learned, remembered." Ryle's heart skipped. "You're lying." The bridge monitors flickered, red. Then data Dominion fleet deployments, encryption, codes, shield harmonics. Classified knowledge scrolled across the screens like an accusation. Her crew stared in mute horror. The Terrans stepped closer. "We're not here to destroy you. Not yet. We came to remind you of what your kind did, of what we endured." "And now," Ryle asked, her voice dry, "now we teach you fear." The human tapped his comm. Outside, their ship charged its cannon again. "Shields," Ryle screamed. "Locked out," came the cry. The beam fired, but it didn't hit them. A nearby planet uncharted. Baron was struck. It didn't explode. It dissolved, peeled apart atom by atom, vanishing into glittering dust. The Terran leader turned once more. "This was your warning. Next time, we don't knock." And then they left, as if the stars themselves had opened a door and swallowed Them whole. The airlock opened. 3 Terrans stepped inside, that no weapons visible, no helmets. Just 3 humans moving like they owned the place. Theo led them. Behind him, a tall woman with gleaming silver veins, tattooed into her scalp. The third man carried a matte black case. Security units tensed. But something in the air made them hesitate. Theo stopped 10 feet from Mira. You're the one in charge. I am Captain Elan of the... He held up a single hand. You don't get to speak of trespass, he said quietly. Not after what you did to Earth. She flinched. That was over a century ago. Your kind refused assimilation. You chose extinction. The woman behind him spoke sharply. We chose freedom. You nuked yourselves. Mira shouted. Theo tilted his head. Wouldn't you? Silence fell again. He stepped closer. You assumed we died. That was your first mistake. He nodded at the man behind him, who opened the case. Inside, a red-lit sphere, pulsing softly. Do you know what this is? Theo asked. A weapon? Mira guessed. A witness. He said, a fragment of Earth's last AI, older than your dominion. And watching everything. The bridge lights flickered. Screens shifted. Maps, coordinates, access logs. Dominion secrets. No, someone whispered. Theo gave a soft smile. We see you. We know you. And we remember. Mira stared, trembling. What do you want? To remind you, Theo said, turning back toward the hatch, that extinction doesn't mean defeat. He paused. Oh, and one more thing. He tapped his comms. Outside, the Terran ship's cannon charged again. Shields. Mira screamed. Nothing happened. Lockout. The beam fired not at the Sovereign Light, but at a nearby asteroid. The rock shattered into dust. Theo looked over his shoulder one last time. That was your final warning. And then they were gone. The screen brightened. A human face appeared. Young, unadorned, confident, brown skin, closely shaved hair, a small burn scar down his left cheek. No armor, no medals. Just a matte black exosuit with no rank, no affiliation. My name is Lieutenant Theo Gray, representative of the Terran Continuum, he said calmly. You've just attempted an act of war. Don't do it again. His voice wasn't angry. It was resolved, like someone who had survived worse than war. The feed ended. The bridge held its breath. They're slowing, Halen reported. Surrendering, Mira asked. No. Captain, they're docking. A hollow click echoed. External cams showed the Terran vessel rotating, aligning with the top side hatch. Mira gritted her teeth. What do we do? Halen whispered. She hesitated. She had stared down pirate armadas, faced AI uprisings, declared Dominion victory over ruined systems. But this was different. If they wanted us dead, she said, we would be. She nodded. Let them board. The vessel didn't stop. No energy weapons powered. No shields raised. Just that slow advance like a predator that had already decided how the hunt would end. Launch interceptors, Mira ordered. Force a halt. If they engage, erase them. 2. Gunships deployed. Fast, armed, tactical. They closed the distance quickly. It should have been a standard intercept, but the unknown ship moved barely a tilt and fired. One pulse, silent, blinding. Both gunships vanished. No wreckage, no signal trails, just empty space. What was that? An ensign shouted. Energy anomaly off the scale. No weapon profile matches. Mira's heart raced. What kind of tech does this thing have? Halen's voice shook. Something we've never seen. Maybe something we were never meant to see. The voice returned. This is Echo Station, last bastion of Terra. We do not repeat our warnings. Echo Station. Mira's thoughts spun. Was this what the Terrans had become? Were they ghosts of a burned world now returning to reclaim lost ground? Chaos stirred across the deck. Voices overlapping. Sensors flashing. Officers breaking formation. Veterans frozen in disbelief. Mira slammed her hand down. Silence. They fell still. We are the Dominion. We do not falter. But her words rang hollow to ships gone. No retaliation. No answers, only that ship, unshaken. Fleet command, no response. Channels jammed. We're alone. The truth sunken. The Sovereign Light, the pride of the fleet, was isolated and helpless. She turned to tactical, Target their engines. Disable that ship. I want answers. The cannons locked in. Fired. No damage. Not even a flicker. Then came something new. A transmission. Theros begged the Council for reinforcements. They sent them 11 dreadnoughts to siege moons and the finest mind hackers in the quadrant. An overkill force, but Earth was ready. They didn't resist. They infiltrated. Within hours, Dominion. Eyes were compromised. Weapon systems turned on themselves. Command officers reported phantom glitches, hallucinations, ghosts in the data. The invaders began vanishing, not in combat, in silence, in sleep. One soldier returned, eyes blank, words slurred. They don't fear us. They've turned fear into a weapon. Beneath Antarctica, a facility powered up, old world power, pre-cataclysmic, buried for centuries. Inside, thousands of dormant pods, humans, warriors, uploaded minds, artificial gods. A voice echoed in every Calthron channel. We aren't the species you left behind. We are what survived after Mercy died. Theros had seen enough. He tried to retreat. Earth didn't let him. Humanity wasn't defending Earth. They were reclaiming a memory, revenge coated in flesh and steel. War was no longer a struggle. It was a calling. And the galaxy had just remembered Earth.